Those of you who know me know that I tend to stand for the little guy developers. Don't get me wrong, I own a lot of plugins from the big guys, but the indie plugin developers, they just have a tendency to come up with some fresh, original new ideas, as well as some of the best emulations of classic hardware that you're going to find anywhere on the market. So today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the brand spanking new RO-140 Plate Reverb from the little guys at Black Rooster Audio. How does it sound, and is it worth adding to your plugin arsenal? Let's find out in my review. All right, so I've got the RO-140 Reverb open up here. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. It's got this rack mount appearance, so it's got the rack ears on either side with the Black Rooster Audio and Vintage Plate Reverb on either side here, the RO-140 designation here at the top. You can see that it's got on the input and output gains on either side. They've got these orange colored lights on there. Very cool. And also this vintage look VU, as well as the vintage look damper control here, which controls the reverb tail, and the bass cut, as well as a low, mid, and high EQ, mono stereo operation, a power, as well as plate material controls, and a few knobs here for pre-delay, plate size, and a dry wet. I like the silvered appearance, the worn appearance to it. It's got a very vintage vibe to it. Overall, you can't go wrong with the looks of this thing. It's attractive. All the controls are easy to find. So a solid 5 out of 5 in the looks department. Let's find out more about what all these different things do. All right, so I went ahead and got the RO-140 set up on a reverb bus of our test track. I soloed out the drums, so we're going to go ahead and hear the dry drum track back. And then we'll throw on RO-140. Platey. All right, now let's hear what these different features do here. Got an input as well as an output gain. And then this damper control controls the amount of reverb tail. Nice. The bass cut, so we want to cut some of that meat out of the bottom end. As well as our EQs, low, mid, and high. All right. And then the real star of the show here are these 6 different materials. Start with the titanium. Gold. Silver. Bronze. It really brings that snare out, doesn't it? We'll hear the steel. And then here's the aluminum. The aluminum is just tighter, isn't it? It's like a tighter feel than that steel. Oh, I love that. And then rounding out the rest of the controls are our more modern features over here, like the pre-delay, as well as the size, plate size, and then a dry wet control. So where does that leave us in terms of features? I gotta say, this is an easy 5 out of 5. Just the 6 plate materials alone is worth 5 points to me, 5 stars. But the built-in EQ for really fine-tuning the output sound, plus the more modern features like your pre-delay size, the dry wet, the mono stereo, just overall, it's an easy 5. Next up is usability. So what does it sound like when we throw it on a home mix? Let's find out. All right, so we've got our entire mix set up. We've got 2 guitars, the drums that we were just listening to, as well as the bass. So let's go ahead and see what it sounds like when we listen to it all put together. I love that. I love that ringy to that plate reverb. It really sounds good with the mid-range and those guitars. That's fantastic. I'm curious what it's like if I use this tighter aluminum. Oh, that's great. That's great. I love it. Boy, I just don't think that there would be any way that I could use this incorrectly. It just sounds fantastic. Every one of these controls is musical. There's a ton of movement in all of these dials in terms of just tiny little adjustments make a huge difference in the output sound. Again, usability, it's a 5 out of 5. I couldn't go any lower than that in terms of how you can use this thing. So our last category is value. How do we feel about the value of the RO-140 by Black Rooster Audio? At 69 bucks, it's a hell of a bargain. If you compare it to other plate reverb emulations, especially Arturia has a 140 emulation. It's also 69 bucks, but it doesn't have anywhere near the features of this. I said it before, I'll say it again, those 6 different plate types really make a huge difference in the timbre that you can get out of this thing. Makes it really usable, and then having the built-in EQ just really pushes it over the cliff. So in sum total then, this is a 5-star plugin in every category. You can't go wrong with this. If somebody is looking for a solid plate reverb plugin to get that uncanny valley sound of some of those vintage studio reverbs that you've heard on some old recordings, this is a solid choice for sure. If you head on over to Black Rooster Audio and pick it up, you should put in code HST10 at checkout, and you will get 10% off your entire purchase, including any other Black Rooster Audio plugins that you pick up. Also, if you're interested in learning more about how to start your own home studio, check out the link in the description below. There's a free guide that I have set up to help you learn how to start your home studio. So thanks for watching. We appreciate you stopping by, and have a great day in your home studio today.